So, Fat Man,
So sleazy.
Merry Christmas.
No, fuck off.
Happy holidays.
No, fuck off.
Happy final battle.
Oh, definitely fuck off.
Let's talk about that on the wrestling show. Welcome, everyone. This is Sleazy.
That's the Fat Man.
And welcome to a very special holiday version of the wrestling show. It's just old school. Us, just talking about
Kicking it old school.
Gotta talk about Ring of Honor.
Oh, God.
Yeah, I know. Not exactly the heyday of Ring of Honor right now. If you hadn't listened to our show last week, we were not kind to them when they talked about the TV deal or lack thereof one. But we are going to talk about Final Battle. Okay, go ahead. Sorry.
No news and rumors this week. We're going to get the Christmas week off. We're just going to talk about Final Battle. So it should be a quick show. Also, Meltzer star ratings at the time of taping are not out yet. So I have Steve Cook from 411 Mania's star ratings.
Ooh.
Because it was legit the only star ratings I could find for the show. Okay. No, I did not watch the 13 hours that was the pre-show.
Right? There's 4 fucking matches on the damn thing, including some surprising names on there. They put Jeff Cobb on the pre-show.
They put the Kingdom on the pre-show. And by the way,
put Top Flight on the on the pre-show.
The Kingdom lost.
Yeah, they did.
So let's bring them in with much. Didn't I say that we had this debate about how I was indifferent about them coming to that and how they wouldn't be booked well? They've lost every single match they have had, which was what, 2?
Yeah. It's sad. It's depressing. I feel bad about it. I don't feel bad about it, but whatever.
Okay. ROH proper, Final Battle proper, I should say, opened up with a Yo Dog. I heard you like tag team matches.
I don't.
Ryan's favorite wrestler, Roosh and Drilistico versus Blake Christian and Floppy Ankles. 10 minutes and 35 seconds. This Steve Cook, I gave it 2 stars.
So I love Air Fox, and Blake Christian has grown on me because I've watched more GCWs than I care to admit.
Just saying that,
right? I know.
It breaks my heart.
I had to get it in there.
It breaks my heart.
For fuck's sake, they booked the Showboat. I gotta watch it every once in a while.
Fucking Mark.
Here's the thing: is I did not realize that Drilistico was not the first Mystico, but the second Mystico.
Yes,
I did not realize that. So that was pretty interesting. But it's Dragon Lee, right? Isn't it Dragon Lee?
No, Dragon Lee's way smaller.
I was under the impression he was not the Dragon Lee, but a Dragon Lee.
Oh, I don't know.
So whatever. It doesn't matter. Point is, this match wasn't great. It was okay. At least Fox and Blake got a win. I gave it 2.5 stars. It was a warm bowl of water.
Fucking 100 piece of shit. This was a 3.5 star match, except for the finish, which was completely fucked up.
Yeah. I wonder if they were supposed to go over even.
They probably were, because his shoulder was clearly up in the rough count of 3 anyway. And then he's like, okay, just ring the bell. We're just going to ring it. Ring the bell. And then even Baruch is like, what the fuck? So then they got their heat back because that was a smart thing to do. Because I'm pretty sure they were supposed to go over. And they had to extend the time because it probably was supposed to go a little longer.
And then Roosh got suspended.
So they're turning it into an angle.
Yeah.
So
Well, I would too at that point. You might as well.
yeah. Yeah. Okay. Yo, dog, I heard you like women's matches?
Right? Women of Honor.
ROH Women's World Championship, Mercedes Martinez versus Athena. 13 minutes and 10 seconds. Cook gave it 3 stars.
I liked this match. I gave it 3.5. My only right kid died, but here's the thing is that Athena needed a credible win. She couldn't beat the Ring of Honor World, or not the Ring of Honor World Champion, the AEW World Champion. Then she tried to beat the TBS champion. Couldn't beat her. So here's your consolation prize of the Ring of Honor.
New Day.
I mean, it's the same problem. And you're going to see that again on this show.
And it happened on the same day.
It happened on the same fucking day. Yeah. It was a new day. Yes, it is. But yeah, the match itself was good. Mercedes can work. Obviously, Athena can work. I don't think I think they didn't have enough time to get it into another level to make it like an amazing match. And it was also in the dead spot. So be it, whatever. But it wasn't bad.
So I agreed with this Steve Cook. I gave it 3 stars, but it was good, but the dynamic was off a little bit. I don't know why. It just felt off. Probably because who's the heel in this match?
Yeah, that's a problem too.
Athena turned heel, but yet, I mean, she's getting cheered because it's in the Dallas Fort Worth area. I understand it.
Yeah, that was kind of stupid.
But yeah, but like Athena worked as a face and Mercedes Martinez worked as a face.
Yeah, it was weird.
So
it was very weird.
So maybe that's why I thought the dynamic was a little off, because it was off because they're both working as faces.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'd agree. Hasn't been the first time that this happened, that it happened on this fucking show either.
Shane Taylor sorry. Yo, dog, I heard you like tag team matches.
I do not.
Shane Taylor Promotion versus Swerve in Our Glory. 13 minutes and 50 seconds. Steve Cook gave us 3 stars. Okay. So why is this match happening? Swerve in Our Glory essentially broke up at Full Gear when Keith Lee walked out on Swerve. So yeah, they do a little storyline about how, I think, what is it? Griffey is Keith Lee's brother? ? And there's history between Keith Lee and Shea Taylor Promotions. Why not just have Keith Lee and Shea Taylor? Why not just have Keith Lee versus Shea Taylor? Okay, fine. Then they pretty much do this tag match where Keith Lee accidentally hits Swerve. Swerve walks out on him, and Keith Lee still ends up winning the match.
Yeah, fuck your tag team. I'm just gonna win by myself. Yeah, okay. It's fucking ridiculous. I thought Keith was done before this, so I don't know what to say. What do you do here? I mean, really, what do you do here? There were a couple of spots in the match that were pretty fun. I liked the match, kind of. I hated the fact that they spent most of the time playing around with the whole, well, they're just going to miscommunicate all fucking match, and eventually Swerve does walk out on them. But really, to have Keith, well, fuck you, I'll just win it by myself. Fuck y'all. Yeah, great job of putting over Ring of Honor talent.
It was an okay match for a house show.
I think you're being generous. I gave it 2 stars.
Like, again, I liked some of the aspects of the match, but wrong kids died, especially if you're going to officially break up Swerve in Our Glory. Why was this match even here? And if it was here, you should have just done Lee versus Taylor.
Yes, 100%.
So I don't
get why they did
the
it.
booking was just all over the place here.
Yeah.
Surprise, surprise.
I will make a comment on that at the end.
I'm one-handed, so I can't get this page going here. Come on.
Spoiler, Fatman's still hurting here. So
Come on. Yay, I did it.
congrats.
Yo, dog, I heard you like tag team matches.
Fuck you. I like trios matches though.
ROH World Six-Man Championship. Dalton Castle and the boys versus the Embassy. 10 minutes and 9 seconds. Cook gave this an okay match for a house show.
Okay, let me first speak to Dalton Castle's history with the 6-man titles. I've always found it ridiculous that they've held, even on one occasion, the 6-man titles as a joke. The fact that they're multiple time champions is ridiculous. Because let's be perfectly honest here, the boys are nothing. They're treated like nothing. They're not a legitimate tag team. They are basically fodder for Dalton to win a title, especially with the 6-man title. Excuse me. Jesus.
I don't know if that was a cough or a sneeze.
It was a cough. So to have the Gates of Agony and Brian Cage even have any problem destroying them is a fucking joke. And I love Dalton. Spoiler, Why? Why wasn't this a 30-second squash match? I really mean that.
I agree, but I actually ended up liking the match.
I love the match too. That's the other side of this. Is I absolutely loved this match. It was a 3.5-star match. I thought it was fun. It was whimsical. I love Dalton Castle. And frankly, the right team won.
Right Kid died way better than I thought it would be. Hopefully this ends Dalton Castle in ROH because he would be perfect in NXT.
I would agree with that.
Perfect.
I would agree with that.
He is the perfect person to be in WWE because he's a peacock.
The party peacock in NXT.
Makes sense to me.
Here's the thing as well. I think, okay, I'm going to say this with the assumption that this is true, because I don't know if it's true, but we kind of know it's true because of how we know him. I think Dalton's too much damaged goods. I don't think he'll ever get a WWE contract because I don't think that he'll ever pass a physical.
Yeah, I think his
back.
Yep.
And you can tell because he's made multiple outfits and gear to hide the fact that he constantly wears a back belt in the ring now.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't think he would ever pass a physical. So this, unfortunately, I think this is going to be his ceiling as Ring of Honor / AEW for that exact reason. And that
I hope not.
Absolutely sad.
Yep.
That man deserves every fucking opportunity in the world. He's so good in the ring. He's so good on the mic.
Okay. ROH Pure Championship. Daniel Garcia versus Wheeler Yuta for the 10,000th time. 14 minutes and 50 seconds. Cook gave this 3 stars. Okay, I'm
a piece of shit.
You say underrating? Oh, I agree. I think it was a 3-star match. The first rope break by Garcia was clever. The second one made absolutely no sense because he was outside the ring while he did the hold. Therefore, it should not have been a rope break.
I would agree with that.
And then they did the same spot with Wheeler Yuta later in the match. So why wasn't that a Daniel Garcia rope break? So the psychology was all over the place. It was only they only did it to try to fit the story they were trying to tell in the ring.
Mhm.
The sharpshooter spot. I said should have been a rope break. Dumb that it wasn't. It was good, but didn't make psychological sense within its own match. That's why I only gave it 3 stars.
Okay. Well, we're not that far off. I consider it 3.5-star match. But so we're in the same ballpark. I really liked how it was paced for a pure match. There were some obvious spots, as you pointed out, that were kind of like, I did like the finish. I thought the finish made a lot of sense.
Sorry.
What's that?
Wasn't a fan of the finish.
Really?
I didn't think it made sense. They didn't put the work in my opinion, to have that finish work. In my opinion.
Well, here's the thing is that if you look at it from the perspective of that is what Blackpool Combat Club's group finish is, it does make sense. Because Danielson used it,
I said in the context of the match.
In the context of the match, you're right. But then you have to complain about every wrestler that works on the arm and then does an F5 as a finish.
Well, I do.
I'm not saying you're wrong. I'm just saying that it's a common thing that happens.
There was no reason why Daniel Garcia couldn't have taken a pin there or a submission loss, not a TKO. There's no reason.
It makes it even worse. If you're gonna, I think him getting pinned would be less of a definitive match.
Use that word again, which I'm going to hate later on. Definitive doesn't necessarily mean it's the right call.
I think it was in this match.
In this match, maybe, but there's another match we're going to talk about that I 100% will fucking fight you over. Anyway, there's another reason why I have a problem with this match, the finish of this match, and I'll get to it in a little bit.
Okay. That's basically it. I mean, there was a lot of brawling throughout the match as well too. So it was pretty stiff. But other than that, yeah.
Yo, dog, I heard you like tag team matches.
I do.
Dog collar match for the ROH World Tag Team Championships. FTR defends against the Briscoes, 22 minutes and 20 seconds. Cook gave this 5 stars.
I agree with him. Easy match of the year contender. Holy shit. It was way better than their first 2 matches. I thought that this one was the sole reason to watch this show. If you're spoiler, obviously,
and they brought it up like 3 days before.
Right. This is absolute. I didn't think the dog collar gimmick would have made this match better because I don't like dog collar matches. I think they're dumb. I think the gimmick limits what you can do because you're always constantly having that, well, I got to get out of the ring this way. I got to do this move this particular way. So it kind of fucks with the timing of shit all the time. You didn't see any of that here. And it was just beautiful. The finish was wonderful. And I know he's going to bitch about it. No, actually, you're not going to bitch about it. I don't think you're going to bitch about it, at least. I think that every single spot was fucking perfect. I thought it was brutal. I love the fact that everyone gigged for it. I thought that even the spots that looked really bad, like in terms of painful, were really well done. And there was a sense of just really, truly 4 men just putting everything they could into a match. and I loved every second of it.
Let me tell you how wrong you are. This is not a 5-star match.
Fuck you.
This was
No, fuck you. Fuck you.
And
fuck
there's
you.
a reason.
Fuck
There's
you.
a reason.
Fuck you.
There's 2 reasons.
Fuck you. Okay. First reason.
The dog collar did hinder what they were doing because I'm right.
You're
Because
wrong.
the same person was fighting the same person the whole match. It got repetitive.
That's not true.
Yes, it is true.
That's not true at all.
It is 100%
There are
true.
multiple times where each person
They hit each other with a punch like twice. They didn't do moves to each other. They were mostly 99% of that match was they were doing moves to the same person. It was just like, let's mix this up. Also, that ref spot was 100% unnecessary, and it brought nothing to the match. The ref ganging.
100% disagree.
Make it make sense.
It was making sense.
Why?
They were beating the hell out of everyone and anyone that got near them.
What did it bring to the match?
It brought how fucking heinous the match was.
All 4 men were bleeding at that point.
Yes.
So why do it with the ref?
Because it makes it look even worse than it is.
It does not.
It absolutely
It's a pointless, unnecessary spot in the match. Now, this is 100% a 4.5-star match.
100% disagree in there.
And I think this is the worst match of the 3.
You're absolutely wrong.
I'm absolutely right.
You're 100% wrong.
I'm 100%
out of your goddamn
right.
mind.
I might be, but
You're absolutely wrong.
I think the ref spot was 100% unnecessary, and it just got repetitive. I was just like,
this is.
I think the dog collar did
my match of the year.
It's not even the best tag team match of the year, bro.
You're wrong. You're absolutely wrong.
I'm not wrong.
You're absolutely wrong.
I'm not wrong. You are right in saying this is the sole reason why. And you know what? I think they made this match knowing no one was going to buy this pay-per-view. So they had to put something on.
You know what it reeks of? Eminem versus the Hardys. Do you remember that from December?
December to December.
Yeah. They went, no one's going to fucking buy the show. We need to put something on this. Hardys versus Eminem. Do it. Yeah.
But I thought the match was awesome.
Mm-hmm.
But again, I just had those few issues.
We're in the same ballpark. The difference is how much we enjoy the variation of this match. I think the fact that it brought an aura of violence to it made it that much better. That's all I can say.
And you could have had
maybe that's an ECW mark in me. I don't know.
100% the ECW mark.
Maybe it's the Briscoes mark in me too, because that is absolutely a Briscoes match.
Yes.
Look at some of the bumps they took. Jesus Christ. Specifically Jay, but both of them took some.
Well, that bump
really
that Mark took from the top rope to the chairs laying on the floor.
That was heinous.
So another reason why I didn't like the pure title ending was that they kind of did the same ending here. Like, he didn't give up. He passed out. And you had technically the same finish back to back. It would have made way more sense in this match than it would have the Pure Rules match. And that's another reason why they could have done a different finish in the Pure Rules match.
You can absolutely make that argument. Yeah, absolutely. My retort is that they probably should have opened with the pure match because it shouldn't have been.
I don't think it mattered. The same finish on the card. It's just I just don't understand.
It happens. It does happen, especially if you're putting it towards the storyline. So.
ROH Television Championship, Samoa Joe versus Juice Robinson, 13 minutes, 40 seconds. Cook gave this an okay match for a house show. Again, who was the heel in this match?
My favorite part of the match was Samoa Joe's music. That's
the bell rang.
Yeah, right.
For the finish.
It wasn't great.
No.
And I like Joe. I like Juice. This didn't work. This don't work for me, bro. whatever. It was a way to put a notch in Joe's Ring of Honor television title reign. I don't know. I don't know what to say other than they wanted to shove more New Japan content on here, I guess. I don't know. Whatever.
2 stars. I mean,
We're there. We're there.
main event time. Time to fight.
All right, let's go. Let's do this.
ROH World Championship. Chris Jericho defends as Claudio Castagnoli. 17 minutes and 15 seconds. Cook gave this 3.5 stars. Do you want me to go first? I'll go first.
Yeah, sure.
Since you went first for the Duckline match. This was 100% an okay match for a house show with the second worst finish of the day. The reason I say that is because the big swing has not been really used as a finish, and not saying that it should be, but having Jericho tap out to that was different, unique, but absolutely dumb because it made Jericho look like a goober, and he lost to a transitional move, and it came out of nowhere. And the match before it was absolutely boo-boo. And I think with a better finish, it would have came across better. And I do have stuff to add after you retort.
Okay. I love Claudio. I think, okay, let's start with the fact that Jericho came in here as champion. I think the sole reason, and I mean this by this, the sole reason why Jericho was champion was because they're farming out for TV deals.
What I was going to say after the match.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yep.
Well, there you go. Sorry.
So I was going to say whatever you said. I was going to say, I feel sorry for Claudio because the only reason he won the title back was because they couldn't get a TV deal. So now he's going to try to be stuck drawing people to Honor Club as champion. So, yes, he won the title. I think stupid finish, but I feel bad for him.
Yeah, you're absolutely 100% right. And I want to point out something else here. Look at who the champions are. Athena, AEW. Joe,
AEW.
Briscoes is the only sole exception.
Yep.
Ring of Honor.
The Embassy and Brian Cage, AEW.
AEW.
And Claudio, AEW. Yep.
They're dismantling the roster. It's going to be AEW Light, and that's
if they're putting the titles on these people.
Oh, pure title too, by the way.
AEW. Yep. So if they're going to put these titles on these people and try to make it their NXT, I'm kind of for it because they can all work with anyone and they can start bringing these new people up or get them ready, quote unquote.
Then what's the fuck point of AEW Dark?
Thank you for saying that because that would have been my next point.
We're on the same fucking wavelength here. Why don't they put Ring of Honor where AEW Dark is?
Yeah.
And I haven't even talked about the match yet, even.
Right.
But the reality is that we're at the point with Ring of Honor where I don't even think they know what they're going to do with it. And putting the strap back on Claudio is just a great example of, we need Jericho someplace else. So we've dismantled the Blackpool Combat Club because Regal left. You know, the entire point of the Blackpool Combat Club was William fucking Regal, and now he's fucking gone. So that stable's pretty much gone. The Jericho Appreciation Society versus Bullet Club. The Blackpool Combat Club is pretty much over because William Regal's gone. And everyone who was a champion of the Jericho Appreciation Society is now gone. So, or no longer champion. So it doesn't really matter anymore. So what do you do here? What do you fucking do? And this, by the way, was a 2.5-star match. Jericho can't work a match like this anymore. He just can't. He is a great personality. He's always been creative as fuck in the ring, but it's over, Chris. Call it a career, dude. Seriously. You couldn't get a 2.5-star match with fucking Swiss. I don't know what to tell you. As for the finish, I guarantee you Jericho came up with that.
Mm-hmm.
Because that's the exact type of, oh, we need to be super unique. Is it a great finish? No. Is it unique? Yeah. Is it kind of cool? Yeah. I will defend people who thought it was a cool, unexpected way to finish the show, because I think it needed it, because honestly, the match wasn't very good. They weren't popping all that much. So when Jericho fucking, I don't even want to say tap, because yeah, he did tap, but
the ref was calling for the bell before Jericho tapped.
I think he said, I quit. And you obviously you wouldn't hear that.
But then Jericho tapped out while the bell was ringing.
Right. That made no sense. He probably should have just let it go. But why? I guess my point is, one of the reasons why he used that move, it was a setup for him to do the sharpshooter. Why didn't he just go through with the sharpshooter and finish the match that way? I don't understand why Jericho thought that was a good idea.
Or kill him with Swiss Death.
Yeah,
or the neutralizer.
The recoil bomb is what he's been using.
Or the neutralizer. Like fucking, there's 3 moves he could have done other than that to fucking win.
Yeah, and
like I said, he used the worst fucking option.
Because it was unique and it would pop the crowd.
Yeah.
And I guarantee you, Swiss was like, yeah, okay, cool, we'll do that.
As long as I win, I don't care. Sure, whatever.
I don't even think he was going to say that. Swiss is Swiss, yeah. Ultimate, consummate professional, no matter who he's working with. So if somebody like Jericho comes up and says, this is what I think we should do with the finish, he's just going to yes and it. So it's whatever. So that being said, the match was warm boiling water.
So overall thoughts, come for the Briscoes FTR match, and that's it.
Yeah. It was not a good show overall. I think Deadline was better. And I didn't really like a lot of
Deadline was more solid.
Mm-hmm.
How about that?
Yeah. Yeah.
This was an okay show. Deadline was a good show.
Yeah.
Both of them. Obviously, FTR Briscoes was clear match of that day. Like, clearly, not even fucking close.
Oh, yeah.
But other than that, I mean, you're not missing much if you literally out of the 2 shows come for FTR and maybe catch one of the Iron Survival challenges just to see what the match is like. And other than that, you don't really need to see anything else.
Yeah. Let's take a quick break. After we come back, we're just going to talk a little bit about the future of Ring of Honor, what we believe is the future of Ring of Honor. And we'll probably touch on a little bit of the year-end stuff too, just to get some cool stuff out there. So we'll be back after this. All right, folks, we're back. So let's talk about what the future holds for Ring of Honor in 2023. I think that's a pretty good assessment, honestly.
Well, when we talked about last show extensively about how the worst thing they could have done was put the weekly on Honor Club behind a paywall.
Behind a paywall, yeah.
The pay-per-view buys are going to go down if they weren't great to begin with.
Well, here's the thing. You don't have a weekly show to build to your pay-per-view anymore. You're making people pay for your weekly show to build to a pay-per-view that they also have to pay money.
Pay for, yeah.
So what the fuck are you doing here?
Mm-hmm.
Like, I like Ring of Honor a lot. I have an affinity for Ring of Honor, but Tony Khan has made it such a point where I can't even afford to watch it. What the fuck?
And like I said, question mark. I don't. And again, it's just like AEW. There's so many talented guys, but do they have? We even think about this? The backstage personnel, are there going to be their separate producers for Ring of Honor, or is the AEW producers going to produce both company? Like, I'm assuming Jerry Lynn, BJ Whitmer will probably be Ring of Honor,
Mm-hmm.
and maybe one other guy, but
I
don't
don't
know.
know. And here's the thing is that we're not just talking about, road agents / producers. We're talking about the entire company's worth of stuff.
And yes,
Announcers, uh, uh, Bobby Cruz and
Yep.
Twinkies and all sorts of different things. There's a lot of people and a lot of bits and pieces of Ring of Honor that have been around for such a long time that basically could be gone just like that.
Yeah, I think Bobby Cruz was saying. Todd Sinclair hasn't been around for a while.
He's been backstage.
Oh, has he?
Last I knew, he was
Okay.
doing backstage roles.
Okay. Yeah, I didn't know that. What was I gonna say? My fear is that you're right. You're putting it behind a paywall, and then you have to pay for a pay-per-view. Again, we could have put them on YouTube. We discussed this all last week. I had something in my head. I just forgot it. I apologize. I don't know. I don't know what the future holds. Is it and Chip asked last week, is this going to be their NXT? If it is, okay, cool. But I don't see it's the paywall is what if they just said we're going on Honor Club. And you can get there's like 2 tiers of Honor Club, a free tier where you get you sign up, you get say early access to ticket sales and the weeklies. And then that's it. Then the $9.99 is you get all the perks, the backlog and the merchandise perks and on sale and the weeklies. That's great. But just to be like everything's $9.99. Huh? What? You know what I mean? It's just
I think there's another problem there.
that.
You and I,
Yes.
we've gone to a lot of shows over the years.
Yes, we have.
Ring of Honor is coming to the 2300 Arena, ECW Arena in Philly.
Okay.
Obviously, I live about an hour away.
Yeah, I do not.
No, but you could, let's say for the sake of argument, you're staying with me for that one.
Okay. Yep. Gotcha.
Okay.
And they're an hour away.
And they said, we're doing the show. It's $75 average price for a ticket. Would you go?
It will obviously depend on factors, as in, well, I'm staying with you, therefore I won't be working. Well, I'll be on vacation, so I mean, I might. I'd think about it.
I wouldn't.
I'd think about it.
The ECW Arena is probably not a good,
Right, because
it's a historic arena.
Yeah,
Let's say the Boardwalk Hall or something.
Okay, yeah.
Showboat. Decided to do Showboat, whatever. The point being is that you had a chance to spend $75 on a Ring of Honor live product. Would you do it? And my answer would be no, not with what they've done and not with the roster that they have. And honestly, they don't have enough there for me.
Again, it would depend on
as it stands now.
Again, I would have to look at the card.
Mhm.
I would have to see what's going on. Like, and another thing is, we didn't talk about it, the FTR Briscoes. I guarantee you they announced that match because, again, they didn't expect it to draw, and I guarantee you there was slow ticket sales.
Yeah, I'm sure.
So they're just like, hey, guys.
Which says a lot because they had three major hometown stars coming in. Athena, and Lee, and Shane Taylor.
Mm-hmm.
So,
well, if I think Ring of Honor, those aren't the three names that pop up in my head.
No, but they're local talent.
They are local talent.
They are
Yes.
absolutely local talent in a
Yes.
very highly respected wrestling area.
Yes. And you can see empty seats galore during that pay-per-view.
And that was kind of my point, is that
At least they didn't go to like the American Airlines Center when 17, 18, 19,000 people.
they would have lost their ass.
And yeah, they went to UTA where it's a 3,000 seat building and they drew probably 1,500.
Yeah.
So,
which honestly was more than what they were drawing. And
yes, it was. They said it was the biggest attended final battle, which I do agree with. I don't know about biggest gate, but
Yeah.
we were at, because it's still going on,
Supercard of Honor,
the biggest attendance for Ring of Honor ever.
Yeah,
With their biggest gate.
Yeah, but look
it
what
took a shit ton of New Japan stars.
Yeah. So that tells you everything you need to know there. But even so, I mean,
oh, maybe it wasn't, if you could count G1 Supercard as an ROH show.
I don't count that as a Ring of Honor show. I consider,
because essentially the Supercard of Honor in New Orleans was essentially a G1 Supercard. It just wasn't branded that way.
Yeah, but the difference was, I guess the difference was that New Japan wanted the book for it.
Got you.
So they were.
I know Sinclair had all this shit about WB refusing to let them book Madison Square Garden, blah blah blah. But
yeah, because they're a US based promotion.
Yeah. But Back to the Future. Haha. Gonna go to 88 miles an hour. I think if they stick, obviously they're not going to do live weeklies. They're going to be taped, which is good.
Mhm.
They're probably going to tape a month's worth in advance, which is also good. They're not going to run house shows, which for right now is good.
Question for you.
They'll probably do one bit. Okay, go ahead.
Where do they tape the weeklies?
And you're going to hate the answer.
Daly's Place?
I wasn't thinking that, but that is an option. I was thinking Universal Studios, where they tape Dark and Elevation.
Yeah.
But Daly's Place was another good at. But Daly's Place will be better.
They're the worst parts of early TNA. You had to pay for your weeklies.
Well, no. Right. You're right. They were weeklies. They were $9.99, but they were $9.99 a week, not $9.99 a month.
That's also true.
So
a little bit more expensive.
Yeah, but the best place for them to do it would be Daly's Place, because they can sell tickets and actually make money off a live gate, even though they're taping 4 shows at a time. Well, it's still 12 more dates they can put in to have them make money.
Yeah.
And
which they desperately need to do.
And if Honor Club, and here's another thing, if Honor Club were to do something like what Impact Plus does, because Impact Plus pretty much has the same deal. You get the next day's TV commercial free.
Mm-hmm.
But they also obviously run Impact Plus specials every month that they don't have their big 4 pay-per-views.
Yeah.
If Ring of Honor did that, it would be more incentive to purchase Honor Club.
I would agree with that. Even if they're just throwaways.
This is essentially what
the Impact Plus ones are.
But at least they're doing big events. You know what I mean? Like Winter is Coming is already happened, but this came out a couple weeks later. Spoiler, but their New Year's Bash, or whatever the hell they call
their branded. They're branded
Dynamites.
Yeah,
it could do for like Global Wars, like they ROH used to do, or Glory by Honor, they can do as a special each month. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
So that would be a little bit, instead of doing weeklies, tape 3 months worth of weeklies, pay per view, 3 months pay. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It'll be more incentive for you to get it. Will they do that? I don't think so, because again, we've already talked about last week the the infrastructure you need and the server space you need to do all that stuff live. So
Yeah.
it's
I want to make one last, bit or talk a little bit about this. And that's specifically Tony Khan and why he bought Ring of Honor. If you look at his roster, even before he bought Ring of Honor, you could tell very much that he was a fan of Ring of Honor.
Mhm.
Danielson, Joe, Swiss, Punk. I think that if there wasn't anybody in his ear, you'd pick up Aries and a bunch of other iffy people. Do you believe that Tony Khan will run Ring of Honor irrespective of whether or not it's going to make money?
yes,
Do you
because
think
he's doing it with AEW right now.
okay? Jokes aside,
I'm joking.
fuck you too. I think that
Okay, so I think he'll run it for a couple years, and if it's not making money, when we discussed this last show, I think he tries to dump it to WWE,
and sell the library.
sell the library and the trademarks.
I don't think
Now, what's his asking price if he's going to do that for may be a little different than what WWE has.
Oh
in
yeah.
mind. But you said you don't think he'll ever do that?
I don't think he'll ever do that. And I intentionally didn't say that because I wanted to save the conversation for this. Because I think that Tony Khan is such a Ring of Honor mark that he'd rather kill it under his own possession than sell it to WWE. And
Okay,
it's not from a money standpoint or not even from a malicious standpoint, but just the fact that he loves Ring of Honor so much that he'd rather kill it by its own hand.
so what do you mean by killing it? Have it just like go into bankruptcy?
Just let it go.
Just let it die, still hold, keep Honor Club running, and try to make some money off it.
Yeah, and it just basically transition it into AEW club. Because by the time you're getting to that point,
They have a couple
5
like
years
5, 6, yeah.
Yeah. So you could theoretically merge it into
Okay.
Ring of Honor Club, and now you have this one streaming platform for AEW
Okay.
and AEW related stuff.
That seems more feasible than him selling it to Vince.
Yeah. Then now he has a huge backlog of 20 years worth of wrestling. So he has incentive to make a $9.99 service, and now also has incentive to put AEW stuff on it, and now also has incentive to kind of roll in a lot of the Ring of Honor perks into AEW. It makes a decent business sense, but also it still keeps the Ring of Honor thought process alive. He could still keep calling it Honor Club without it actually needing to be AEW, like completely branded.
Right.
So
no, that makes actually more sense.
You start, I can absolutely say you could easily, combine titles. You could have the Ring of Honor champion versus the AEW champion. You could have, you already have the TNT champion and the television champion together already.
I think, there's confirmation there's going to be like a Forbidden Door 2, probably in Chicago, because that's
Almost certainly.
AEW. Like
it's been at least a month since they've been in Chicago. They gotta go back, man.
It has actually. They went like the day before Christmas.
Yeah.
Or day before Thanksgiving. I'm sorry. Day before Thanksgiving, they were in Chicago. They go they always go Labor Day weekend and the day before Thanksgiving. Always Chicago.
Whatever.
And then the week of Easter and week of Flag Day. And well, anyway.
Hey, they're really
They
into
could
Flag Day.
I know there is. They could theoretically be like AEW, New Japan, ROH.
Yeah.
So
yeah,
now watch them do Forbidden Doors as AEW, or AEW and Ring of Honor. Be like, you've been doing that for like a year now, buddy.
We separated you guys just to do
a pay-per-view.
Yeah, I think that's I don't think they're gonna do that.
I don't think so either. But I wouldn't. I'm a Meltzer it. I don't think they're gonna do it, but it wouldn't surprise me if they did.
I think that's fair. I think that's fair in this case. So anything else Ring of Honor wise that we wanted to cover? Then just at the end of this, I just wanted to say it's been one hell of a year for the wrestling show. It's been one hell of a year for all of us here. Injuries, moving, people coming and going on the show. Obviously, we left the Gear Network and we went back on our own. We are planning on starting January 1st, and we'll make more of a fanfare of this on our next live show, is we're officially launching our Patreon. And we're doing it at literally $1, $2, $3 tiers. It's not going to be a lot of money to join us. You're going to get a ton of perks through it, an extra episode a month. We're doing all sorts of ad-free shows. If you want to do downloads of our shows, we're doing behind the scenes content. We'll have all sorts of different cool perks. You can take a look at that, and that's going to be patreon.com/sleazyandthefatman. But we'll talk more about that on another show. We just wanted to say thank you guys for all the support that you do with us, all the fun shit, all the, we joke about, the multitude of fan, but we do really enjoy doing this, and to have your support with all this has just always been amazing for us.
Concur.
Thank
you.
You
Stole my multitude of fan bit, so I can't think of anything.
I'm
Dick.
sorry.
Dick.
So what does 2023 look like for you, Fatman?
Looks like a neck brace.
Yeah.
That's what it's gonna look like, a neck brace. No, but in all seriousness, like I've said, I don't know if I said this on air before or not, but doing this show this week or every week kind of brings me sanity. Kind of keeps me level-headed, even though we do like to fuck off with everyone's opinion. Well, we talk wrestling, which is what we love to do, and I get my opinions off my chest and not balled up inside, and just wrestling, and more wrestling. Yay!
I'm hoping we get to go to more shows this coming year. Obviously, you being up north and me being down by.
You being the southerner now.
Southern boy now.
You're being the southern boy now.
Fuck happened.
Take your finger out of my ass, because I'm leaving you behind.
Okay, yeah, I'll take that. Obviously we're not doing WrestleMania this year.
Nope.
I don't know if we're actually even doing a big four. I don't think. No, but we haven't seen the full schedule yet.
Just Rumble is in San Antonio and WrestleMania is in LA.
Yeah, and
don't know about SummerSlam or Survivor Series.
The way things are going, who knows? But we do know that WrestleMania is going to be in Philly, and we are definitely going, and it's going to be a big deal. And we're going to put every fucking thing that we can towards it. We're going to do. I'm I'm trying my hardest to figure out a way to do a live show. And when I say live show, I mean in a club or something, doing a live taping in front of a live audience.
Gotcha.
So here's the hoping that we can get something going for that. But we're going to be all over WrestleMania when it comes to WrestleMania 40. So expect that for sure. We got a lot.
Yeah, our jizz is going to be all over WrestleMania.
Especially if New Japan's anywhere near it.
You fucking mark.
Yeah. I'm at TWS Sleazy.
TWS Fatman.
And the show is at Sleazy Fatman on Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok. Please go on over there and give us a like and a follow if you don't mind. Videos you can find at twitch.tv/sleazyandthefatman, youtube.com/sleazyandthefatman, and premium videos on OnlyFans/The Wrestling Show. You can find all sorts of content on thewrestlingshow.com, including articles, merch, bunch of other cool stuff. By the time you guys listen to this, we're probably going to be done with articles for until the new year. We'll pick that stuff back up from there. But obviously you can get this podcast every Saturday morning, wherever you get your podcasts, including Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, and even Podbean. Don't hesitate to rate us on your favorite platform. It really does help us out. So with thanks to, well, Chip and Ryan and Dietz, who's been here, you know, all of us getting roasted by them over the year. And as always, for Sleazy,
For the Fatman.
The Wrestling Show. Thank you guys so much. Peace.
Fuck Dave Meltzer, because I don't think we said it on the show. Fuck Tony Khan. A hot dog's on a sandwich. A sub is on a sandwich. And when the fuck did you start becoming a New Japan mark again? You fucking mark. I know it's Asians, but they're not Asian women. So when the fuck did you become a New Japan mark? You fucking mark.
I'm a truth that you seem to run from. I'm an army of one. I'm a clip in your gun.